passion. They want a shadow ban and shadow talk. They want a shadow ban and shadow talk. Social media gon' get you banned. All that clout chasing, trying to get a fan. Instagram models getting banned. Abu Dhabi, they in the sand. I'm in the Hobby Lobby, I got a clothing brand. Yeah, I'm the man.
Yo, 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 get those spirit guns loaded. It's yours truly, Ali Kazam, Shadow Urameshi, with one of my favorite people in the world, the one and only, my brother, Zeta Bull. Make some noise. Toof!
What's up, my guy?
What it do, my brother?
What's up, family?
Hey, look, the consistency king. You know what I'm saying? As I've always told you,
Yeah,
I
bro.
got you and Illy up there. Y'all two,
Yeah, at least.
y'all two are like, bro, y'all are like the road runners that are just uncatchable. It's like, oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, I love what y'all be doing. But no, man, what's been up with you, my guy?
Nothing much. Just I've actually took a break, man. I actually finally, after one last run, I released a couple mixtapes on YouTube. I got this YouTube thing I do with the Life of the Bull. I'm on 7, and I took a break, bro. I haven't released nothing. Maybe on Spotify, I haven't released nothing since July last year.
Yeah.
So, but I did release like 3 mixtapes since then. But
Shit.
that's just YouTube. I just been working, man. The project, man, the new project.
Do you feel like with your background, if y'all don't know, you came from Jersey,
Right.
coming to the South, all of that. Do you feel like that gives you, especially being in the South now, a totally different perspective and angle with your music?
Yeah, I definitely do. When I first came, I was in such a weird place. I was the only person that was rapping with East Coast flow. All my friends and people I were meeting were, from the South. They were loving T.I. and Jeezy and stuff like that, and it gave me a two-sided blade. After a while, after I accepted it where I was at, it gave me a two-sided blade. So yeah, I'm trying to, what's the word? It gave me more range, so it was definitely a benefit, man. It's always been a benefit.
Right. So, with the amount of music you put out, what's one of the songs that, changed you after you made it?
Oh, I think, 2049, The Bull's Opus, my album, it just turned 3 years old.
Yeah.
That album, has tons of songs on there, but I want to say it was Dirty. Dirty is one of them. You remember when you used to do the thing at the coffee shop?
Oh yeah, Satori. Yeah.
Satori.
We used to have mic check over
And
there.
mic check, and I performed it there, and I realized that was kind of my lane. So I would say Dirty. So thanks to you and the platform,
man. That's love, bro. That's love.
That really showed me that like people rock with my music.
Right on.
In my face.
Right. Right.
Because that online love is, it's not in your face, man.
Yo, I'm glad you said that, because one thing I learned recently that was really freaking dope and eye-opening to me is a lot of us artists, and like I say, artists, pay attention to this. This is really important. A lot of us artists don't realize that when a fan is first discovering you, that is extremely important. Because let me give you an example. If a fan is discovering you off of a live show, live experience, that's the first time they see you, that is the best time for a fan to discover you. You know why? Because they get to see your artist identity right away. No 10-second gimmick on TikTok. No this. No, you've been immersed in my world. You're gonna come see me perform. Once I learned that, that's what made me realize performing is so important. Even if it's not in front of a lot of people, you still need to be doing it consistently, because that's how you allow yourself to really gain some major lifelong fans.
Right.
Because they're falling in love with the whole identity, because they get to see you perform the whole set,
Yep. Jay Haynes, that's one of the people, like I heard Jay Haynes before, but when we performed together and I seen him perform, I was like, man, this guy.
If you haven't seen Jay Haynes live, individuals like him, Zay,
Unknown,
I remember when we did his show with All This Entertainment.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that was a great
Melody,
experience.
Melody
Yeah,
Rose was there.
yeah, that was a great experience.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, we got on. I think we were on Roku or.
Yeah, what's Roku?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great, man. That
I
was
watch
great.
it. I put it on TV all the time when people come
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
They be like, "What? You on TV, bro?"
I'm
like,
up there. What's
yeah.
up? You know what I mean?
It's up, man.
Yeah, man. But no, that's beautiful, bro. And you know, I noticed too what some of your newer music that you have been putting out. This is a platform I've been using too, but I noticed you've been going with this platform even. I would like to for you to kind of explain what the strategy behind that is.
Right. So the even is a direct to fans, as you know, you're on there too, and I see you did the pay what you want for the
Right.
album, right?
Right.
Well, I just put a single out on there, and it's "Wish Me Well" to be out on the 31st.
Check it out.
It's only on even right now, and I did it mainly because I want to see where my fans hold me, as in other than Spotify, like, and all, those numbers. I wanted to give it a direct to fans for a little while and let them support, man, because I released a lot of songs, man. Like I'm over 500 songs that's out, and in my mind, streams don't accumulate to nothing for real unless you're getting millions of them, so I wanted to do something that maybe the fans will come and support the Zeta Bull brand, man.
Right. And then it's kind of like a theater effect. It's like you get this now, and then it'll stream later on.
Right? Yeah, definitely. It will stream later on.
I really like that concept. I think it's dope. I think this should be the new way for artists moving forward because it just gives your music more value.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it creates a better bond with your fans that you already had.
Definitely.
So speaking of the new album, you're working on a new album now?
Yeah, I'm working on a new album. It's we're probably like 75-80% done.
Oh wow. So you told me past comments that this is a closing chapter with this album. So what exactly are you closing?
Man, 22 years, bro, rapping and stuff. When I first started doing this, man, I just did it because I loved it, and it feels like a job, and this is part of the reason I took this break since July, because I lost my way with the consistency and not being consistent. I lost my way in being consistent. I lost the passion, the love that I had for actually creating music and songs, man. So this is one last run, kind of closed this thing for me. And it was like, Zay, let's not try to get an album done in 3 months or 2 months. Let's spend 6, 7, 8 months perfecting this project, and give the fans the singles that they so right deserve from me, and make sure I keep them fulfilled with what I do and the music I create. I don't want to just stop, and I'm never going to stop, but I am going to slow down my process, and that's what I've been doing, man.
Yeah.
I've been really working on this album before last July. I was working on this album before I released One Last Run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've already worked on this album maybe close to a year.
Yeah.
And I've already knew it. It's been something that was building. And I still have an album that's ready to come out right now. I have one in the chamber that's done 100%. And that's ended with Soul Side B.
Oh wow.
And it's been done a year. It was done before I even started the Kane, the off-season Kane, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Don Saga, Chi story.
So going back to what you just said earlier, is it like a burnout you had?
Yeah, definitely. It was a burnout, man. It was.
Describe that burnout. Is it from like putting out too much content, or like what is it exactly?
I think it was like overworked. You know what I mean? Like you ever been at work, like a job, and you're just like, man, I need a day, bro.
That's a really good point, because we don't talk enough about how much, especially if you're independent, how much the artist has to do. we're not talking about just the content. We're talking about the paperwork.
Paper.
You know how
Oh,
much
man.
the paper. You know how long that takes. The paperwork, being able to fill out all the different websites, all the different things, the content, shooting it, scheduling people, recording, engineer. I mean,
Yeah.
you name some.
Yeah,
It's a
marketing,
lot.
paperwork, everything. I mean, it takes me a whole day. Like it's, bro, like it really. I had to sit down for a whole day and do back paperwork because I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking
Yeah.
about a whole 8-9 hour shift just doing
doing
paperwork.
that, yeah.
You know,
I
because
got one of those coming up for me too.
yeah, because I just kept flying and releasing,
Yeah.
and I wasn't worried
Yeah.
about doing no paperwork. That's man,
Right.
that's not the ugly, but it's not the glamour side of being an artist, man.
Right.
I mean,
But I think the way you're doing it is still the proper way, because the problem with a lot of artists is we get overwhelmed by having to, oh, I gotta do all this. I'm not gonna drop music. No, forget that.
yeah.
The art comes first. You know, I had to
Right.
learn that. Like, nah, bro, drop the music.
Mhm.
Do the paperwork later on if you got to. It is what it is.
Right.
But drop the music, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
And
So,
definitely,
I respect that.
when you're doing these shows, make sure you got a pro. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you got a performance right organization.
Oh, yeah, PRO, yeah.
And put your show in there. Submit your show that where you performed and what songs you performed, so you can get a check every 3 months.
Bro, you know how many artists don't know that?
Right.
I didn't know that coming up. When I came to, I had no idea how much money I missed out on from doing all these local shows.
Yeah, or events, or your own events. You can put them
Facts.
in. You know, so yeah,
Facts.
that's so important.
It really is, because they send you that quarterly check, and once you get those first few, like, dang, this ain't the check I want to miss no more. Like,
Right, exactly.
Whoa,
right.
I pay off a big bill with this.
Yep. Or you can take that money and invest it right into your music.
Right on. So speaking of your music, and like you were talking about with your catalog and coming to a closing chapter, what do you want your fans to take away and look at your catalog 10 years from now?
Man, you know, I actually always thought about this. You know, like even in the beginning, like when I was in my bedroom in New Jersey writing, and it wasn't that good, you know. I was just like, man, what is going to be the Zeta Bull that people remember, you know? And I hope that in 10 years, bro, people are still discovering me, you know, new fans, my old fans. I know from doing music for 22 years that my songs age well. You see what I'm saying? I know, bro, on the way here, you know, side note, I live an hour away from Ali. So I was listening to all my old stuff, you know, before we even cared about Spotify and all this. You just doing it, like I said, for the love, man, the love of the game, bro.
Right.
And I just want them to know that, like in 10 years, like, bro, this guy released all these songs, all this work.
Right.
He loved it.
Facts.
You know, he loved it.
Facts.
And when I started falling out of love with it, bro, the studio's in my other room, bro, like right over there. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even going in there cutting it on. That's how burnt out I was on the music. But, and it's also, we talk about this all the time, bro. Collaboration, bro.
Yes.
Collaboration is the key to keeping that flame burning, bro. It is so important.
So true.
To have the artist come over. You know, I just played Ali some of the songs from an artist I'm working with. Shout out to Lace. And, you know, he came through and he helped me as much as I helped him, you know, because he sparked that flame back in me, you know, that writers, that being a writer, that being an engineer, that being, you know.
Oh yeah. Because I really think when you think about the golden era of hip hop, that's really what it was. It was so much camaraderie outside. Everybody was clicked up. It was just so much motion that I think here in Mobile, it's definitely heading in that direction. And I'm really excited for that, because you're seeing so many different cliques now forming and putting out so much more music and content, and just, I love it, man. I love it. I think with that type of environment, it'd definitely make someone like you, you know, want to jump back in, because it's going back to the love. It's going back to just really the essence of it and just having fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
That year I went and I did all those features. Jay Haynes always like, man, your feature game is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when meeting you guys, meeting everybody and doing the shows together and stuff, I was like, man, I gotta have songs with these guys because they're great artists,
Right.
And that should be the key thing to anybody, And I'm down to do features with anybody, and I ain't charging nobody because that's the love of the music.
I got another feature coming with Zay on my next project. My next project I'll be announcing later on, but that one I'm really excited for. He might have forgot about the feature, but I still got it. And you spazzed on it. I'll play it back for you. You spazzed on it.
Because I don't remember.
Yeah, no. I keep see, that's the thing with me. I'm diabolical how I do this stuff. I'll hoard music and hold it for a minute unintentionally.
Right,
I'm not intending on holding it, but just life and procrastination, it was just had me hold it. But here's the thing: when you make timeless music like we make, it's not trendy. It's not, as long as the quality sounds up to date. Then it's like you put it out, it's still gonna take off. It's still gonna do its thing. You know what I'm saying? Like with my new project Wilderness, I've been sitting on that project for like 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know that I've been sitting on that project for 4 years. I just fully cleaned it up and put it out this year with some newer features. And then now starting off the year strong, just want to keep it going and keep it going and keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Similar to your consistency.
Right.
I have one more question on there for you.
When I got to be so consistent and considered it so consistent, I have been hoarding so many songs that I could make all the mixtapes and albums I wanted before I even released one because I had so many in the stash.
Yes.
So many in the stash.
And I used to, like, back then, I used to think that was a bad thing. Like, oh no, it ain't no point in me making all this music. Now I'm just sitting on it. I can't put it out. I can't do this. But now that I've gotten older, I've seen other artists do these really cool techniques, and I'm like, oh wow, that is really smart. So here's this one technique that artists do. It's really smart to have a bunch of songs you've recorded, because then say you go to a different studio and it's a bigger artist and you need to have verses ready right away. Well, guess what? You got a whole catalog of songs and verses that you haven't even put out yet. You can put those out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you can use those verses is what you're saying.
Thank you. Yeah. Because sometimes, when you've been put in those situations, some of these bigger artists, the way they write and move is like lightning speed. Right. They're going super fast.
Definitely.
If you can't keep up, they're literally just moving right past you. So if you're in those spaces, that'd be advantageous to you to have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard Tiger say that when he started working with Wayne and Drake and Nicki, and in the early Cash Money or Young Money days, that Wayne be in the studio working and he wouldn't say nothing to nobody like, hey, write on this beat. He'd just go in there and do his thing, and then he'd walk out. And if no one walked in behind him, to do a verse, he would just go back in and finish the song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Tiger was like, bro, we just kept writing. And then sometimes he would I would just write to the beat, and then Wayne would go in there and do the whole song regardless.
Wayne is a monster. Wayne is a monster.
Yeah, and not telling nobody nothing, no, like, all right, well, you gonna be on this verse, I'm gonna be on this verse. And it's just like, you better be up, clips. Like my man says, Wayne say clips, dog. You gotta be loaded.
Hey, so what do you think about it was two comments LaRussell made back to back that put him in some hot waters. The first one was about Wayne, when he said that as he got older, Wayne's lack of substance was noticeable for him. Do you feel that way? Because we came up in the mixtape era, in the blog era,
right? And in the peak of Wayne, I remember the Wayne, the first Carter. Oh,
but it's like, is Wayne the person that we're looking for substance for? Like Wayne to me was more entertainment driven.
Yeah, definitely Wayne. I mean, and Wayne was making singles, bro. He was making bangers,
hot records.
He was making bangers.
It was like I said, it's fun entertainment music.
I don't go listen to Wayne to for all the similes and metaphors and punchlines. They're there, but they're not they're not. I don't know, Wayne. That's
But
not Wayne.
he was saying the substance, like there's
Oh,
no messaging or anything I can learn from as far as like you know.
I think I have to agree with that. Then. There's no. Yeah, I mean,
But
Wayne.
see, I don't understand why people are so mad about that. Like, why is that such a hot take? Like, he's not saying the man is bad.
No,
he's not saying he can't
and I'm not
rap.
saying that either. I love Wayne.
You know what I'm saying? He's just saying he is what he is.
Yeah.
He's a street, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
rapper in a sense.
Yeah, you're not going to get the Jay-Z lines from Wayne, and you're not going to get, just for example, I'll throw the name out there, Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? You're going to get more from Wayne than you will Gucci to me.
Yeah.
Because they're not emotional artists. Let's put it like that. Let's
Right.
not say substance. Let's just say emotional. They're not showing you, some songs Wayne does though. I have to give it to him. Some of them they touch my heart. You know what I mean?
He's got those records.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have a substantial amount of them.
Because Wayne wants to go in there. He wants to kill it. You know what I'm saying? He wants to give you, the F is for phenomenal, my guy. You know what I mean?
He started a lot of trends for sure. He started a lot of trends doing stuff like that. That stuff is fun.
Real G's moving silence like lasagna,
that was
my
such
guy.
a bar.
Yeah, those are bars.
He had the whole high school stuck when that came out. Like everybody was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
But no. So then the next comment that LaRussell made was he was on stage and he was performing. And he started naming certain individuals that now, in hindsight of history, people don't, they're looked at as evil. And he said they were heaven sent, followed it by saying even Martin Luther is heaven sent. So people got mad because it's like, we get what you're saying, that everybody's made by the creator, but why are you saying these particular individuals are specifically heaven sent when you know they're not righteous and they've done, the crimes on humanity that they've committed?
Well, the opinion.
Whole lot of shadow talk.
Yeah, his opinion. You feel what I'm saying? It could be whatever he feels, right?
Yeah.
He's not the almighty creator of anything except what he does. So, and that's another, like, that's just a side. Let's side note this real quick, and let me say this: when someone has an opinion about you, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't care if, let's just say the Drewski thing.
Yeah.
There's a whole Drewski's in hot water because of the
Erica Kirk joint?
Yeah, the Erica Kirk
joint. That was crazy.
Drewski is a comedian. He is a comedian. You feel what I'm saying?
That was crazy.
And an artist is and that's a form of art. We're all, me and you, we're both artists, bro.
Right.
You release something tomorrow, and I'm not gonna say I don't care, right? I'm gonna just say I know Ali as a person.
Yeah.
And someone might say, "Oh man, I don't like that new Ali cut." I'd be like, "Well, I love Ali." You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I know where his mindset's at for that, and I carry that with every artist. Might not be my favorite Lil Wayne song, might not be my favorite Ali song, but I know one thing, that he gonna come with another banger.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because I appreciate art. You got to appreciate art. You got to step into the Galleria, and you might not want to put that painting on your wall, but you got to step back and appreciate it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So find your appreciation bigger than your critiques.
A whole lot of shadow talk.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I actually had an individual come in here, and this is the tricky thing. Where, like, when you're first coming up as an artist and everyone's trying to give you advice,
right?
You have to, at a certain point, you're going to get to it where you have discernment to know what actually applies to you and what doesn't. Because, a lot of times, and Ye say this, it's true. How are you taking advice from people that are less successful than you? You know what I'm saying? Because one thing you told me before is, you are into mentorship because if somebody already did it, knows how to do it, has the proof and the evidence to show, like, I'm going to listen to him.
Yep.
I know what he's talking about. So, to artists out there, be wary of that. Because funny enough, I had an individual come in here not too long ago, and this dude was like, you can tell when somebody has been talking to you with other people about you.
Oh, yeah,
You can pick up on that energy, and I could tell because he just randomly started, like, saying stuff like, oh, you need to start taking advice from everybody. If 40 people in a row told you your music is too intellectual and lyrical, you might need to change something. You know what I'm saying? I'm just listening to him. I'm just looking right through him. And I'm just like, I'm just going to let this dude talk. Because the thing about it is, my G, at the end of the day, it goes back to what you said. It's about what you feel inside.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's about what I want to put out. Because at the end of the day, my G, this is my legacy.
Yep.
How do I want to remember my own legacy? Because 20, 30, 40 years from now, because I'm a fan of me. I'm sure you're a fan of you.
Oh, yeah.
I want to play back my music and love it and respect it.
Yep. Always.
You know what I mean?
Always.
It ain't about, because I feel like when dudes like that say stuff like that, it's like you know, going back to what you said earlier about how artists have those burnouts. That's a part of the burnout when you're chasing what the validation is to please everybody else and please the trend, and man, you're gonna burn yourself
and everybody's evolving, bro. Like you're always evolving. Like when I was listening to my older songs on the way here, like I was like, I would never say that today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would
moments.
I would probably never said that. But I wasn't a father then. I wasn't a husband then. You know what I mean? I wasn't 38. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where your evolution comes, man. Everybody's if you're not growing and you know evolving with your artistry, you're falling behind, really.
Yes.
You're falling behind. You know, Wayne could never come out and do, you know, Lollipop again, you know, but why would he? It was already a hit. Why would you do that song again?
Right.
You know, I heard this quote. It's a good quote. Driving the car, you can't drive the car forward looking backwards. You know what I'm saying? You can't drive it like this. And Sean said it on a podcast. I seen it, and I was like, bro, that's perfect. Like you just gotta keep looking forward.
That's
and growing, bro. Grow, read, learn, read the books, learn what you don't know, and the more you know will be what you can pass down to your children, what you could mentor someone.
Right
you
on.
know, I had to follow my OGs to become a leader. You know what I'm saying? People will always, don't be a follower, be a leader. But every great leader was a follower at one point, bro. You know what I mean? I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done anything, Ali, for you if I didn't go learn it. You know what I mean?
Right on.
I learned it because we both need it. And I got to share it.
Yeah.
I got to tell you because I'm being selfish. Right. And that's not the God in me.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I got to tell you. Right. And I'm not out here trying to gatekeep nothing. Anything. If I know it, if I know it, I'm going to teach it, bro. We both need it.
I'm going to tell y'all something. What he just said is so profound because I recently learned that in the Quran it says you're not to be jealous of nobody. When you see somebody else's success, the first thing you're supposed to do is pray for their continued success. That's right. The moment you pray for their continued success, you are in God's favor. You are in Allah's favor because you have no hatred, no envy, no jealousy in your heart. You genuinely, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what you're going to get is what you deserve. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to get the blessing.
You're going to get what you deserve. You're going to get what you've earned, what you've worked, you know. Because when I look at certain individuals in the city, like when I see, for example, shouts to the homie Beeman. When I see a Beeman and I know everything he went through and then focused and dialed in on becoming a man, prioritizing the finances and taking a step back from the music.
Exactly.
And then coming back to the music and going, pushing it super hard right away. I can't do nothing but respect that because I know how much effort and work it takes to do that in a world where there is no compassion for a man for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that balance is like to balance everything and still be an artist. That's a whole.
It's tough.
Man, that's a whole.
Tough. Another person, Jay Haynes, you know. Right. Another person, Zeta Bull. When I see you running your business, still being a family man, still doing the artistry. You know, individuals like y'all prove to me that you can have a family and still fully commit to your career. That was one of my fears of starting a family was like, oh, what if I got to completely sacrifice my whole career? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to see y'all do it is like, oh, no, it's possible, you know?
Yeah. It worried me before I had kids and, you know, before I got married, I was like, man, I used to say I would never get married. I would never have kids because I love music so much.
Right.
But having those kids and having my wife, man, made me love music more.
Wow.
It made me love it more, bro. It made me want to, bro, I didn't read very many books before I had kids, but as soon as I had kids, boom, I was up there with reading books because I was like, I had to teach these kids something.
Right.
And I can't just teach them all to rap. You know what I mean? Like I can teach you to throw a football and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but I need to teach them something when they come to me. Oh, dad's got the answer. Dad has the answer. And
Right.
even if I don't have the answer, I'll tell you I don't have it, but we can go find it together.
And it's so cool that you have an entire catalog to pass on to your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like they can always listen to Pops in the music
Right.
forever. Like,
Yeah.
bro, that's such a dope gift.
You know, I did that. I did this intentionally, bro, because my dad died before I was born.
Mm,
And I never got to hear his voice.
mm,
So I don't know what he sounded like.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I could only ask other people, like,
Right.
hey, my dad have like
Wow.
broken English. Did he speak of broken English? He had a strong accent.
Wow, bro.
Like, what he sound like?
That's
Yeah,
deep.
like shit like that. You know, what kind
That's
of
deep.
person he was.
Right, right.
So to be there for my 3 kids, bro, and leave them with all this of my vocals, these podcasts. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't even got a home movie of my dad. You feel what I'm saying? On VHS tape.
Wow.
So, you know, that's part of the reason, bro. I
Wow,
wanted to
man.
leave a legacy, man.
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. I'm gonna end it off on these. I got a couple more questions. We'll end it off on this. So with your background and everything you went through, and how your conviction with how you speak on the streets and everything.
Right.
What are some things that you've learned that from the streets that have applied into your life, and also what are some things that you had to unlearn because it might not have been beneficial?
Yeah, my OG, man, rest in peace, Big Baby. He taught me loyalty, bro. Like that was the number one thing. Loyalty, keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about nobody out, sideways, outside of your mouth. You feel what I'm saying? So loyalty and respect, that's the one thing I kept, bro, from the streets. Because when I grew up, we had that. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot of BS. And what I had to leave, like I think a lot of what I had to leave, bro, was like my attitude and like my hot headedness. Man, I used to have a bad temper, you know what I mean? Like just like in high school and like, coming up in Jersey, bro, you really can't take a bunch of shit from people, excuse my French, but you just really can't take it.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of things off of impulse, not learning how to think, not learning how to, react the proper way, bro. And I think the streets taught me, the loyalty and the respect and chess, because I learned how to play chess from a street dude. And that taught me how to get away from the reacting. You know how many people
Yeah.
wouldn't be in prison or jail if they just thought about what they were about to do before they reacted?
Right. Right.
So yeah, that's got to be
Yeah.
it, man. Loyalty and respect, bro.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope, man. So, lastly, what do you want to tell the shadow walkers and shadow talkers out there? What all plugs you got coming up, or whatever you want to let them know?
Okay. So wish me well. First single of 2026, dropping the 31st of March, and the album will come this year. At the end of this year will come, and another thing is more singles will be dropping this year, bro. And they're not all going to be on even. And it was so side B will be ready in April, bro. It will be on even in
Side
April
B.
on the pay what you want option. So you can give $1, you give $100, you give $1,000, whatever. I don't care what you give. Just you can come give 50 cents if you want. Well, I ain't gonna do 50. You have to give $1. I ain't gonna do 50 cents. You can come get it for $1, and it's the second version of my album "And It Was So" that's out right now. So y'all just check out Zeta Bull on Spotify, support Apple Music, YouTube. Go check my mixtape YouTube. Google me, it's Zeta Bull, Big Bull. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to Rap Functions. Shadow You're Messy. My guy, my brother.
Yo, y'all seen it here. Get those spirit guns loaded. It's the shadow. It's the bull. It's a whole lot of shadow talk. We're going to see y'all next time.
Activate your spirit. Activate your spirit. Walk on, be fearless. Let your visions be the purest in the wilderness, in the forest, in the wilderness, in wilderness, in the forest, in the wilderness. Activate your spirit, activate your spirit. Walk on, be fearless, let your visions be the purest. In the wilderness, in the forest, in the wilderness. In the wilderness, in the forest, in the wilderness.